This Sunday is the third Sunday in our Lenten journey, and as we get on towards the middle of Lent, we have some of these really beautiful, tender stories of Jesus reaching out in love, and we see this idea of forgiveness and acceptance already at play in our Lenten season. And this Sunday we'll be reading, again, a very intimate dialogue that Jesus has with the woman at the well, and he offers her living water to drink. And it's such a very special moment in the gospel narrative. And so we'll have a lot of that tenderness that will be reflected all through the morning in our prayers and in our hymns and the choral selections. That idea of looking to Christ for something that we thirst for. One of the pieces that expresses that most beautifully is Psalm 42. Like as the heart desires the water brooks, my soul longs for you, O God. And one of the most popular settings of that psalm text is by the 20th century English composer Herbert Howells. And he expresses that yearning of the soul with these bluesy kinds of notes. That's carried by the tenors and basses in that rich, sonorous tenor range. Really beautiful and exquisite in its writing. At Communion, we also have two more very English hymns that have different takes on that idea. We'll first be singing a Tallis hymn tune with a Horatius Bonar text. I heard the voice of Jesus say, "Come unto me and rest." And in the second verse especially, it talks about, "Behold, I freely give the living water. Thirsty one, stoop down and drink and live." It's pointing right to the gospel that we will have read earlier in that service. As I said, the musical setting is by Thomas Tallis, who was an English composer a little bit earlier than Herbert Howells. He lived in the 16th century. And yet this tune, aside from being popular in its own right, was used by Ralph Vaughan Williams for a string fantasia on a theme of Thomas Tallis. It's very, very popular and is probably a melody that you've heard. Again, if you feel like you've heard that melody before, you might want to just go over on YouTube and search for Ralph Vaughan Williams Fantasia on a theme of Thomas Tallis, and you'll find a beautiful string piece with that melody. We'll also be singing Draw Nigh and Take the Body of the Lord. Again, this idea of provision from Christ, and another tune by another English Baroque composer, Orlando Gibbons. And as we walk out, we'll be singing All My Hope on God Is Founded, another wonderful commentary on looking to Christ for that living water, with a tune that's backed by the composer of the offertory anthem, Herbert Howells. So we have a lot of really restorative and wonderful music and prayer and liturgy prepared for you this Sunday. If you are thirsty, come and drink with us here at St. John's.